Good afternoon. It is another beautiful Sunday here in St. Petersburg, Florida. It is sunny. It is hot. The UV is in the double digits. And I am very excited to bring you the second edition of Mic'd Up. I'm your host, Michael Schneider. And we're rounding out the end of the offseason. And the Hall of Fame game this Thursday is coming soon. The NFL season is right upon us. College football to follow. And regardless of whether or not there are not being games played in the NFL, there's still a lot of action going on, whether it's off the field, whether it's on the field. And besides that, there's a lot of NBA stuff going on, the G League's going on, rookies are getting action, training camp starting in the NFL, golf is in full swing, full season, all around. PGA is always active. There's a lot of stuff going on. The MLB, the trade deadline is coming up this Thursday. We'll get into more. And let's start off with the NFL. First off, the NFL is dropping a new line of merchandise and uniforms called Rivalries. The NFC West and the AFC East is going to be the first part of this massive transformation and this massive cultural movement within the NFL, getting fans involved with new uniforms. It's almost like a City Connect thing, how it works with the MLB, where about every season or so, MLB teams drop new City Connect uniforms to help represent their city better. Same thing with the NBA. They drop their almost a City Connect that has a different name to it. Man, being all just awful. But like I said, the NFC West and the AFC East is going to be part of this first wave. I know the NFC South, unfortunately, is going to be sometime in 2028. It's going to be a couple divisions each year. And I believe I'll have to look more into it. There's a whole detailed description about it, kind of an overview. August 28th, though, that's when all the uniforms will be revealed. I know they've been teasing, they've been blue balling all the fans for the past few days. It's been very unfortunate for NFL fans, so they want it now, but they got to wait like a whole another month. There's a ton of games going on, mostly primetime games where these uniforms will be unveiled. One thing I am really excited for, which is unfortunate because the Cardinals, I think, is going to be one of my favorites, I think, from how they're unveiling it. Because when you look at all the other rivalry uniforms, it's kind of like Color Rush. It's kind of their main colorways, how like the Seahawks had all green, Falcons had all red, Dolphins had like an all blue. But the Jets have, I believe, 4 games where they're unveiling these rivalry uniforms. And the Cardinals, theirs looks like one of the most exciting because their concept is seeming to be like more of like an actual like City Connect type of ordeal with their uniforms, as they're doing a more desert themed uniform, as where like you got the Patriots and the Jets and the Dolphins and the Seahawks and the 49ers and the Rams, where they're just kind of doing like an all black, all white, not very much. There's nothing unique out of it. The Cardinals is looking like the only one that's going to be unique, and a lot of people are saying it's going to be the worst one, which is very unfortunate. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for all of them. I believe all of them will look really good. The Rams already are kind of let their fans know what they're doing. It looks like they're going to be doing an all black with like a yellow accent on the helmets and the uniforms. But keeping with the uniform theme, the Browns are unveiling their brown helmet to go with their all brown fit. And a lot of fans are making a lot of crap jokes about that. Like, it's literally just all brown, orange accents. I mean, the uniforms itself, they don't even have much culture to them. They don't have much uniqueness to them. They look pretty bland. And with the brown helmet, it's just not much better. It's literally just a brown helmet. I believe a stripe or two, an orange stripe or two down the back or down the center of the helmet. And then the Steelers. I don't know. Compared to the Browns, I don't believe that they have as bad as a look as the Steelers, bringing back their awful throwbacks. The yellow helmet's the only good part of it. I think that looks better than, honestly, their black helmet. I mean, I lied. It doesn't look better than their black helmet. But besides the point, their new uniforms that they're dropping, I believe it's yellow top. I believe it was like a beige bottom, from what I remember. But it looks god awful, hideous. A lot of people have reached out to me and asked for my input on it, and I think it looks completely hideous. Again, teams with yellow, like yellow as their primary color, it's just, I mean, can you really blame them? But also, that's a uniform that they try to bring back, as a lot of teams are kind of bringing back a lot of throwback uniforms. And a lot of them are doing really good with it, like the Seahawks or the Atlanta Falcons bringing back their old red helmets. But the Steelers probably should have kept their throwbacks in the vault because those look god awful hideous. We got a couple things going on, a lot of stuff. Retirements, training camp starting. As you know, rookies are beginning their careers. Some people are closing them out. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, he's closing out his career. That's unfortunate. He was drafted in 2013, bounced around from some teams, played for the Texans, the Cardinals, Chiefs, and then he ended out his career with the Saints. I believe he had one more year left on his contract with the Saints, and he decided that he would not want to be a part of the continuous train wreck that is the New Orleans Saints organization. They definitely will be one of the bottom 5 teams in the league this year. Just unfortunate for them. I don't blame him. I mean, everybody else is saying they don't blame him either. He's a really good player. I mean, even though he's kind of out the door, I mean, he's still playing decently well for his age. I mean, even though he's been in the league for about 11 years. But yeah, like I said, training camp full swing. A lot of rookies are getting out there. I've seen a lot of clips from all over the league, mainly the Falcons. I keep, you know, as being a Falcons fan, I keep mainly with their training camp, with all the news happens to do with them. I did see a lot of clips of Quentin Johnson getting flamed on Instagram. There's a lot of clips of him. There was a clip of him dropping a wide open. He was running around about like a 10-yard, 15-yard dig, and he dropped a completely wide open pass. A great pass by Herbert, by the way. Herbert's been doing fine in training camp, and he just drops it. There's another one where he actually caught the ball, and everyone was flaming him. Even then, it's unfortunate. I mean, he's known to be one of the Butterfingers guys throughout the league, like Kadarius Toney or like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Unfortunately, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, as you know, is a USF Bowl alumni. Used to play for the Bulls here in Tampa. It's unfortunate that he had that bad rep, but before that, he was a good player. Some injuries going on. I think there was Dolphins had a veteran that tore his ACL. He's more than likely going to be out for the year. More training camp news. Justin Fields had a very, very scary injury. Happens, I say it was Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He had a dislocated toe that required him to be carted off the practice field. It was nothing too serious, like just dislocated toe. He was benched the next day. It's a day-to-day thing. I don't believe he's gotten back into training camp yet. They're just kind of keeping him, as preserved as they possibly can. Very scary thing for Jets fans and for Aaron Glenn and the organization, especially after getting a huge contract with Garrett Wilson, their star receiver. I mean, having that trifecta with Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, that's going to be a huge thing for them this season. And if they can kind of coordinate defensively and they can kind of work together, they could. Why not the Jets? Why wouldn't the Jets be able to go all the way, make the playoffs, get a playoff win after? I believe that they have the furthest drought in the NFL playoff wins. I believe it was early 2010s that the Jets last had won a playoff game. They definitely need something there, and I believe with Aaron Glenn they can do that 100%. But again, a scary thing. Nothing too serious. It was, I believe, the way it was brought about first, that it was like a lower leg injury. Obviously, nothing crazy like an Achilles or an ACL, an MCL. None of those detrimental injuries. Of course, unfortunately, a lot of the ACL has been thrown around a bunch throughout the week since training camp has started. Unfortunately, a lot of newer guys and older guys have ran into that injury, and it's a very unfortunate thing for them. But again, with the quarterback, this whole quarterback piece, a part of an offensive scheme like this being a super important thing. Russell Wilson is named, as of now, by Brian Daboll in New York, the current starter for the Giants. And that'll be a great thing for him. I believe that, Russ is damn near out of the league. We'll see what he can do this year. Malik Neighbors, running back for the Giants. I can't I don't know his name. Obviously, they would have been sick. They would have somehow, some way kept Saquon, but obviously Saquon's doing a great, better thing in Philadelphia. And Michael Penix Jr. It's kind of like there's a viral clip of him going on around the internet of him saying that it was something along the lines of, "Oh, I've seen we've gotten active with Kyle Pitts today in practice. We're gonna need more of that. There's gonna be a lot of that come off season." And I believe Kirk Cousins said the same thing. Which, don't get me wrong, he did target him, but at the end of the day, Kyle Pitts just kind of had a. Regardless of that, Kyle Pitts just kind of had it off here. A lot of people are kind of saying it's that Kyle Pitts fantasy propaganda. There's no way they're going to fall for it this time. A lot of people are saying that it's their year. I think that just Michael Penix Jr. for the Atlanta Falcons is that piece that they need to click off rip if they want to have any chance at making the playoffs and making a Super Bowl. He in the handful of games that he played last year after the whole Kirk Cousins drama, he played pretty good. Interceptions obviously weren't his fault. Speaking of Kyle Pitts, one of the interceptions definitely was Kyle Pitts' fault and not Michael Penix's fault. Giants, actually, I believe it was the goal line interception when Kyle Pitts was running a speed out, I believe, and literally just gave it into the defender's hand. That was, I believe, his first interception too, which was the most frustrating thing ever. Falcons still ended up winning the game, missed the playoffs, but in a handful of starts for him, he's done great for the Atlanta Falcons. He will continue to do great things. I'm excited. I know a lot of other fans are excited. A lot of fans outside of the Atlanta Falcons are excited. I know I've gotten some things about Michael Penix. A lot of people are supporting him from outside of the team, and it's an exciting thing for him. Other than the NFL, that's kind of all wrap up. Training camp still going on for a little bit, and the NFL, we're back at it. A Hall of Fame game on Thursday at 6 p.m. Chargers and the Lions. No, it wasn't 6 p.m. It was around 7:30 to 8 in Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame game. They're announcing the new Hall of Fame class. I'm excited for that. Hall of Fame game usually every year. I mean, I tune into it. It's not a crazy exciting game, but it's a good way for a lot of really, really fresh guys to get in. And it's exciting for that. NFL is back. It kind of kicks off the whole preseason. And then we start the season next month. Also with college football starting next month. Yesterday it marked it was 4 Saturdays until college football. So it's about a month out. That's exciting news for that. That's a wrap on NFL. As we're transitioning to the MLB, we came back from the All-Star break. Teams are getting back into the swing of things. The Braves, like I said, were clicking first game, and then they just declined as it's going. They're currently on the brink of getting swept by the Rangers. Speaking of that, Austin Riley was on IL for a decent chunk of time. Came back Friday to start the series against the Rangers, and the Braves have been playing awfully despite getting their third baseman back. And then with the trade deadline coming this Thursday, the same day as the Hall of Fame game at 6 p.m., there's been some names thrown around with the Braves. I'd have to look more into what's going on. There's still some moves to be made, contracts to be dealt with, trades to go on. Sean Murphy with the Braves, they're making it clear they do not want to move him out of Atlanta, the catcher that they picked up from the Oakland A's a couple years ago, and to kind of transition Travis d'Arnaud out. Apparently, Marcell Ozuna's name is being thrown into the mix now. People are speculating that he's going to be out of his way in Atlanta, which is not a good thing at all because he has been very good. I wouldn't say he's been more consistent than not, kind of. He's been all over the place. The whole team's been all over the place. It's just been the Braves this season have not been good at all. You would think at the All-Star break that they would kind of transition, kind of get their bats hot in time for October, in time to make us push to the playoffs and possibly even the World Series. But it looks like they're just going to sit down and take whatever's coming at them with little to no fight at all. Go figure. Brian Snitker is doing nothing in his power, despite the trade deadline, to kind of get more bullpen magic, to kind of retain the guys. We'll just have to let time tell and see if the Braves will um, how they'll react to what's going on, the constant losing, and see if maybe after the break they can kind of get something going. But it's not looking too good. I think the Braves are on the brink of extinction and elimination when it comes to this year's uh, this year's playoffs. Um, Jesse Chavez, pitcher, he retires at 41 years old. Played for a handful of teams. Kind of, it was like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'd say, of the MLB. Played for a handful of teams like the Orioles and the Royals. Most recently, the Braves. He kind of bounced back and forth between getting dropped off the team, brought him back on. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and it's good for him to retire. He's a great pitcher. Um, and it's really unfortunate because the Braves definitely need as much firepower as they can when it comes to the bullpen because it is most definitely lacking in that department. Not only that, but the bats they're just not consistent at all. And you can't build a World Series tenure off of broken bats and a cold bullpen. Um, but other than that, again, trade deadline 6 p.m. July 31st, this Thursday. Um, there's going to be a little bit of drama this week, hoping. Some guys get moved around, but we'll have to let time tell for that. Keep it updated on the Instagram for that. But we'll just let time tell. NBA, obviously the G League's going on. I believe it ended, or not ended, but it's kind of in full swing. The rookies have been getting into the swing of things. But the news today, recently, Tyrese Halliburton, player for the Pacers, went on Pat McAfee during last week to talk about his injury on Game 7 of the finals against the Thunder. And it was just hearing that story was an unfortunate thing. I know that Jason Tatum had the same injury earlier on in the playoffs, the Achilles. Um, I'll have to look more into how his experience was with it, but Tyrese Halliburton kind of opened up to Pat McAfee and crew about how the process went about leading up to the injury, and it was really unfortunate because it's another one of those things where with an Achilles, it's kind of crappy luck. He played well for the first few games. I believe he had an issue game around game 4 or so. It wasn't anything too crazy. He still kind of played on it. It was just, I believe it was calf tightness. Got it checked out. He was fine, cleared for game 5. I believe it was around game 5 or 6 that there was something else that had occurred. But it was something minor. Got it checked out. It was cleared by the athletic trainers down there in Indiana. And then game 7, he clearly stated he felt fine, and he was going on a generational game 7 tenure before he eventually tore his Achilles, and I wouldn't say cost, but it was eventually leading to the downfall of the Pacers, and uh, they just could not keep up with SGA and the rest of the crew there in Oklahoma City, and obviously you know the rest. The rest is history. But yeah, again, it's an unfortunate thing for people like him and Tatum, and even just throughout sports. And it's not like what can we do to kind of rewrite this or change this when it comes to um, Adam Silver and the kind of the office behind NBA and throughout other sports. I mean, when it comes to other sports, you know, you have the NFL with turf. That might be an actual issue. That is an actual issue. It's been proven and it's been looked into, and hopefully sometime they change it. But it looks like they're making more fields turf, which is unfortunate. But again, when it comes to the NBA, it's just an unfortunate luck thing. There's no difference between this year and last year when it comes to how much they play their rehab routine, and but there's been a lot more Achilles injuries according to Halliburton. Actually, this year there's been a lot more Achilles injuries this year compared to last year, and at the end of the day, it's just a luck thing. It's just kind of like crappy luck, like some voodoo magic's going on, and it's unfortunate for that because you could just be playing your best game and then just it's gone like that. So he will miss. He and I believe Tatum will miss next season. They'll be back 2020, 2026, 2027. um, for that season. Um, hoping that hoping that Tyrese comes back even better. I believe he's got some stuff to make up. Same with Tatum. Obviously, a lot of people like to see Tatum fall. It's unfortunate that he's such a great player, and I believe that after LeBron retires, he's gonna kind of be that guy that people are gonna hate on his success because he's just such a such a good player. Uh, Obviously, SGA is somewhere up there with him. I mean, probably now he's definitely better due to the fact that he just won his team NBA Finals. Obviously, Tatum did the same thing, but SGA's clearly shown a lot more dominance, and Oklahoma City believe that they're kind of building something great there, and that's a great mile. That's a great stone to build off of an NBA Finals, and it's exciting for them. Hoping they build off that. But other than the NBA, just kind of hoping that recovery process for both of those guys is very it treats them well. I know that he reported that on Pat McAfee's show that he gets out of his little scooter, his little disabled scooter, in a few weeks or so. I think it was around a month, so that's good. He'll be able to get up and walk again, but just an unfortunate thing. The Achilles is definitely a bad thing. It's up there with the ACL, obviously, but I believe the ACL I want to say is more preventable than the Achilles. I believe the Achilles is just more just kind of luck based when it comes to that. PGA though, past week wrapped up the Open Championship, and Scotty Scheffler wins again, showing people why he is the best golfer right now by a long shot. He had a huge lead uh, at the end of Saturday. Sunday, he kind of kept it up there. Did kind of drop down a little bit, or people were kind of like catching up for a second, but there was still a sizable gap between him and the next guy. And he ended up winning the Open Championship, and he kicked off another leg of the Grand Slam. He now has three majors. Now only needs to win the U.S. Open that recently took place in June. JJ Spawn had won it. I believe that was in Oakmont, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct. The 2026 Open, the 2026 U.S. Open, will be held in again June at Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. We'll have to. It's still a long time for that. Now, when it comes to his mentality towards success and stuff like that, I know the Grand Slam is a huge thing, only achieved by six golfers in the past. Recently, just claimed by Rory McIlroy when he won the Masters here in early 2025 in Augusta. But I believe that when it comes to Scotty Scheffler's game, when he looks at this, surely he understands, okay, so a lot of fans expect me to go for the Grand Slam and just kind of like, a lot of people can kind of base this mentality like, oh, he's just kind of only focused on that. But recently he's kind of explained that he's really humble, and he just kind of focuses on winning. And I believe that as people might have their eyes set on next June, a whole year from now, a little under a year, about a month under that, 11 months or so. Um, I believe that regardless of what tournaments he plays in, he will still be playing at the top of his game, no matter what. 24, like 110% output, energy output, just laser sharp focused. And obviously, that's going to be a huge thing if he wins that. And with a guy that's only he's only had his pro card for however many years he's had, like a very short amount of time. He's done a lot of great things. He's won a lot of stuff, and definitely by the time his career is over, it wouldn't be crazy to say he'd be the best golfer, one of the best golfers of all time. I mean, he's already setting the tone for his success, and he's just going to keep getting better. And he's playing some of his greatest golf right now. And again, like I said, he's just going to keep escalating his skill. He was actually recently just in the Happy Gilmore 2 movie, which was a hilarious movie, by the way. I actually liked how they referenced his arrest in Louisville at Valhalla, the golf tournament up there. That was very funny. Overall, that movie was amazing. Had a lot of good guys in there. Roy McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, um, Bryson DeChambeau, John Daly. But yeah, it was a great movie. And again, like I said, uh, Scotty Scheffler's he's a damn good golf player. That boy, he plays really good. Um, and he'll just keep getting better from here. There's a tournament that I believe is going on this weekend. I know that there was a women's tournament that just wrapped up. I'll have to get the results on that. But yeah, so PGA and golf, Scotty's still on top of the world, and he's nobody's really challenging him, and he's gonna stay there for a very long time, very very long time. But other than that, that's all. Everything's everything here is kind of going on. Some things, upcoming things, obviously, like I said, trade deadline for the MLB. Got the Hall of Fame game, Canton, Ohio, Chargers, Lions, Thursday night football. Exciting. College football is going to be back next month. But other than that, it has been a pleasure sharing this news with you. It's been a pleasure speaking again. Hopefully, it's a lot better than episode number one. I know episode number one was really shaky. There was a kind of few things that I tweaked between now and last episode, but it will just continue to get better from here. Hopefully it'll continue to get better. Next episode will be out next Sunday. I'm deciding to do a twist for next Sunday's episode on August 3rd. Kind of get some in the live action. I was thinking about going golfing next Sunday, so kind of get like a tiny little blog out for that. Put that segment in there, or I'll just put it separately on Instagram. That would be nice. I'll probably do a preview for the Hall of Fame game, go over the starting rosters, and kind of evaluate that, and just kind of look ahead to the NFL preseason before we kind of get kicked off into the 2025 10-year. And kind of just some expectations as to what this season's going to mean, who's going to come out on top, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of great stuff coming out next month. There'll be a big break as I leave here, and I have kind of like a 2-week time slot between when I leave here and I'm back in Jacksonville. I believe if I can finalize it, I'll try to get Mike on the Move kicked off as early as not this week, but the upcoming week. Probably start off at Raymond James. Maybe while I'm in Jacksonville for a couple weeks, I can do TIAA Bank Field up there, and also I can do Camping World Stadium on the way back up. But other than that, it's been great. It's been Michael Schneider too. I'm proud to be your host for the second episode. Episode number 3 comes out next Sunday, August 3rd. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for updates throughout the league, throughout all of sports, and stay tuned for the preview to the Hall of Fame game and preview to the NFL season, the college football season. That'll be a little bit more in the future. But like I said again, I'm pleased to be your host. I'm Michael Schneider. Closing out episode number 2. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget, chase your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you what to do, because their opinions are not valid. At the end of the day, it's just you. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll catch you next Sunday, August 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.